Hey guys, Caleb with Commando Bond here. Welcome to the new YouTube channel and thank you for tuning in for the first video. I'm really excited about this first story that I have to share with you guys through this new medium. But first, I just want to say thank you for the last almost 4 years of support via Instagram, via the website. It's been an incredible journey so far, and all I have to say is this was the next step because of what you guys have done for me and for what opportunities and experiences that I've been able to have as of late. I didn't feel like I was doing them justice or you justice merely in the photography environment. I love photography, I love Instagram, but I think there's some really cool things that can be done with video that I hope you guys will join me long term for as well. So like I said, welcome to the new YouTube channel. The first story I have for you guys today is one that I'm incredibly excited about. It's the story of the 007th PPK Series Pistol ever built by someone other than Walther on their own floor. Let's get started. I keep saying PPK Series Pistol because the handgun I had the opportunity to build isn't technically a Walther PPK. It's in the same family, but it's the PPK/S. The difference between the two might seem trivial to someone unfamiliar with Walthers, but it actually matters quite a bit. While the PPK/S is mentioned in Skyfall, it's an error. Never once does James Bond wield a PPK/S on screen. They're different firearms. They're in the same family, but they're a different firearm, and I'll explain why. In 1968, the United States passed the Gun Control Act of 1968, and because of that, the PPK pistol was no longer able to be imported to the United States due to its dimensions. It was too concealable according to the law. So what Walther did in order to abide by said regulations and not miss out on selling their incredibly popular handgun was to marry the PPK slide in barrel length to a full frame Walther PP frame. It's, if you're a firearm guy, it's essentially like the Glock 43X, where you have the short slide and the long grip. In addition, the grips, rather than having to wrap around in the rear because of the metal that fills it out on the front and back, are now just 2 panels on either side. And then of course, because of the extended grip length, you do get an extra round. So that's the major difference there. In Skyfall, the PPK/S again is mentioned, but all prop photos show that it is a Walther PPK in 7.65mm with a pair of smart grips affixed. Perhaps someone decided to slash S the end of it, designating it for smart, or more than likely just a script error. In any case, just because Bond doesn't wheel it does not make the PPK-S a cool pistol. Real world operators actually make it even a cooler handgun. In 1971, a clandestine special operations group known as MAC-V-SOG requisitioned 10 Walther PPK-S pistols chambered at 380 and 32 ACP that were threaded for a silencer with suppressors, in addition to 10 AK-47 style rifles with silencers as well. MAC-V-SOG was operating in areas that the United States was not technically supposed to be operating in, and nor was Northern Vietnam. The Ho Chi Minh Trail and Laos and Cambodia were the primary residencies of these units, and because of that, we had a leave no trace policy that existed. And what better way to confuse the enemy or disprove American troop usage in that region than non-traditional weapons and calibers? 32 ACP and 380 auto, for instance, coming out of a silenced Walther PPK is certainly one way to go about that. Because of this, MAC-V-SOG is one of the only authenticated use cases of a silenced Walther series pistol in the hands of a special operations unit. In my upcoming book with Headstamp Publishing, The Guns of James Bond, we will be discussing not only the firearms that James Bond wields and when he uses them, which is important, don't get me wrong, we'll also be sharing the stories of real live operatives and their operations where these tools were used. It's really exciting as a lifelong Bond fan to have an authenticated use of a silenced PPK series handgun Because of course, the silenced PPK is the epitome of James Bond aesthetics. It's one of those images that just immediately transports you into the world of Bond. Back to the gun and the build. So, the PPK pistol, while not a Bond gun, is cool. We've asserted that claim. And so with the book that I'm writing and all the research that I've done, it felt only right to, as someone who carries a PPK every day, who owns a new production stainless steel PPK, to branch out a little and go with the PPK-S instead. Now the PPK-S is a really cool gun, and building it was even cooler. Interesting to learn from the guys who do this every day what their best practices is for assembling a gun that is kind of complex. There's a lot of tips and tricks and pieces to getting like the trigger bar into place, because that thing's a royal pain with the springs, and then laying it into the chamber properly without missing the cocking piece. It's a simple machine, don't get me wrong, but there is some complexity to it. And it was really exciting to kind of just go through that process with him, chat through it, see the jigs that they've fabricated to make a lot of the things more efficient, and to just be a part of their team for the briefest of periods and witness how hard they work. I mean, just while I was standing there, I was watching a guy hand paint every single black melanite slide with the red front sight, rear sight, and safety indicator. It's an attention to detail that is pretty rare these days. And so I build the gun, put all the parts together. The new black melanite coating is beautiful, by the way. I've lamented about black melanite PPKs and PPKSs in the past from the new production. They've now brought all that into house. They've invested a ton of money into the right machinery to do it right themselves. And this example is holding up beautifully, and it looks phenomenal in person, and I'm looking forward to putting some real abuse on it to see how it holds up as well. But what it also meant was, versus like a stainless gun, some of those parts were having a little hard time fitting. So I went through a handful of pieces a couple times there, getting them to slide into place properly. So after assembling the gun, testing the double and single action to make sure that they broke in the right spots and with the right amount of pressure, we went to fire in the guns, which, I mean, how cool is that to fire your own proof rounds to the gun that you built? And what was even cooler is at Walther, they shoot exactly 007 rounds. So I put 007 rounds to the 007th PPK Series pistol that was hand built. 2 proof rounds, so super high pressure cartridges to verify that everything is tight and strong. And then after that, 5 standard 380 auto rounds. And I just had to wait. That was the hardest part, to be honest. But I want to conclude this video by saying thank you. Thank you to Cody, to Jens, to Chris, to Luke, to everyone at Walther. I want to thank everybody who's taking the time to watch this video, who's been a part of this journey so far for me. Without you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to have an experience or a handgun like this. This is something that I'm going to pass down, and I hope is passed down from generations to come. It's going to be threaded at some point for a dedicated McAfee SOG handgun. It's not only the 7th PPK that's ever been able to be built by somebody bespoke on the floor. It's going to be a testament to the amazing friendships I've created this year with people like Ian McCollum and James Rupley over at Headstamp, who took a chance on me and are allowing me to share the story of James Bond's firearms with you through their incredible publishing company. This year is wrapping up, but there's so much more to come. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. I cannot wait where the next chapter takes us. If you'd be so kind to like and subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below as well. Let me know what else you're interested in hearing about, what other stories you'd like me to share. I'm all ears. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to enjoy the first video with me. Here's what's to come. God bless and cheers, guys.